Hello, students. I am Ananya. I welcome you all to Sai Educational Hub. Today, we'll discuss a poem for Class 10 students, A Tiger in the Zoo by Leslie Norris from the First Flight book. I'll give you a detailed explanation of the poem with the word meanings and the poetic devices. But before that, I would request you all to please subscribe my channel and press the bell icon, and also to like, share and comment on the video. You can also watch the other videos on the chapters of class 10. Link is given in the description box below. So let's start with the poem A Tiger in the Zoo by Leslie Norris. Leslie Norris was a prize-winning Welsh poet and short story writer. Well, in this poem, the poet has tried to explain about the conditions of animals that are caged by human beings for their own fun. So let's start with the poem. The first stanza. He stalks in his vivid stripes the few steps of his cage on pads of velvet quiet in his quiet rage. The meanings are there on the screen along with the stanza of the poem. You can see it for your reference. In this stanza, the poet describes the appearance of the tiger in the zoo and its daily movements. He says that the tiger moves up and down of the cage. The stripes on its body can be distinguished even seen from far as they are darker in color than the rest of his coat. The tiger walks quietly without making a sound because of his smooth velvet pads. The tiger is able to walk only few steps due to the length of its cage. It covers that distance in a few mere steps only. The tiger is full of anger, but it is suppressed because it knows that it is helpless here. The next stanza. He should be lurking in shadow, sliding through long grass, near the water hole where plump deer pass. In this stanza, the poet suggests that the cage is not the proper place for the tiger, as it is not its natural habitat. Thus, the tiger in the cage is a victim of human cruelty. The poor tiger should have been in the wild forest. There, this tiger would have been moving in the darkness, lying in the shadows of trees, or hiding itself behind long grass, so that its prey will not be able to detect its movement. In this way, the tiger would have moved near the water hole, where all the animals of the forest come to drink water. There he should be waiting for some fat deer to pass, and then would have a heavy feast. In the next stanza, he should be snarling around houses at the jungle's edge, baring his white fangs, his claws terrorizing the village. The explanation of this stanza goes like this. Here, the poet says that even though he would prefer the tiger to live in the wild, it is not as if it would lose all touch with human civilization. He imagines what the tiger will do in case he failed to find any prey in his natural habitat. He says that the tiger would be growling at the edge of jungle near some village. He would be showing his white fangs, Fangs means teeth and claws while moving here and there with the intention of scaring all the inhabitants of that village. He would thus become a cause of terror for the villagers. The poet here gives a hint that if we destroy the natural habitat of tigers, they will be forced to turn to our towns and villages to find their food. The next stanza, but he is locked in a concrete cell, his strength behind bars, stalking the length of his cage, ignoring visitors. In this stanza, the poet returns back to the tiger in the zoo. The poet sees the tiger caged in a small concrete cell in the zoo like a prisoner in the jail. In spite of all his strength, it now lies imprisoned behind the bars. The tiger pays no attention to the visitors who come to see him every day at the zoo, as if he feels the visitors to be cruel and selfish who do not have empathy. They just exploit wildlife for their pleasure and entertainment. Hence, the tiger very slowly and silently moves up and down along the length of the cage without any disturbance in the form of human intervention. The last stanza, he hears the last voice at night, the patrolling cars, and stares with his brilliant eyes at the brilliant stars. In this stanza, the poet describes the tiger who is awake till the late night. After that, too, he does not go off to sleep. All night, he keeps staring at the brilliant stars with his brilliant eyes. The poet wants to say that the tiger is sad as he is confined in the cage, so he cannot do anything. Therefore, he stares at the stars in the night and tries to divert his thoughts towards them. Perhaps he is asking heaven why he has been imprisoned there. I hope you have noted down the word meanings that were displayed on the screen along with the stanzas. Now, let's move on to the poetic devices. The rhyme scheme of this poem is ABCB. Next poetic device used is personification. Tiger is being personified here and is referred by the poet as he. Metaphor, tiger's paws are compared with velvet. Next poetic device is enchantment. That is, the one thought is continued in few lines without any punctuation mark. Here the examples are already been given on the screen. The next poetic device is imagery, where the poet tries to create an image about the tiger. The examples are already been displayed on the screen. Consonance. This is the use of a consonant sound in few words. So the examples are there on the screen. The next poetic device is assonance. This is the use of vowel sound repeatedly in a line. Just see the examples on the screen. Next is oxymoron, where adjectives opposite in meaning is used side by side. Example, quiet, rage. Next one is alliteration, where the consonant sound is used at the beginning of a word repeatedly, like B is repeated in behind bars and H is repeated in he hears. With this, we have come to an end to the poem A Tiger in the Forest by Leslie Norris. Thank you.